So how challenging was it when James Gandolfini came to the Groundlings and then you were already out and then you fall in love with him?
He definitely had a charm that very few men have been able to work on me. And he was not hitting on me at all, but he made me giggle like a schoolgirl.
It's breaking bread. If you haven't joined our Patreon yet, you really should. It's pretty great. You get stuff from the road. You get extra downloads after the episode. Lots of cool content. Go over to patreon.com and look up our podcast. And we'd love to see you over there. And for those of you who have already signed up, we'll see you there in a little bit. Look at the treats we got you.
I know.
Right?
These are for me to indulge in?
Yeah, we can eat these. They're all fresh.
Yummy.
And there's a knife if you don't want to just bite into one giant thing. We can.
Well, I can
cut it for you.
Multiple people to enjoy these, so I don't want to be a monster and just bite into them.
We have been doing the show, our radio show, for
5 years.
Oh my God!
Is that how long?
It's actually gonna be 6
It'll be 6 in July.
Yeah, in July.
That we're going into our 6th year, or we completed 6 years.
Yeah, what have we completed?
Yeah, well, how much have we done?
No, you'll have completed 6.
No way.
What?
Yeah, because
What?
It's so crazy, isn't
we
it?
started in 19.
Whoa.
Man, oh man.
I was young then.
I wasn't.
I was a baby. I hadn't even had my 40th birthday yet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I remember pulling off on the side of the road to call you about the radio show.
Oh yeah, I was driving when you called me.
That's funny. Yeah, I was driving home from Northern California with kids in the car. Mm-hmm. And we pulled over like Modesto or something.
Like, what are we doing? Are we doing this?
Yeah, should we do?
Do you like me?
Yeah.
It's like a first date. You like me?
I think it'll work.
I like you.
I think we'll be good.
We could talk about things.
We'd only probably spoken maybe
couple times
before that.
Our good mutual friend Erin Foley.
Yeah.
We had seen each other around her, and then once on a plane beside each other from Montreal.
That's when I fell in love with you, was on the plane.
Which is funny because I feel like I'm so quiet on planes.
You were quiet, but you were funny. We were just sitting next to each other on the way back from Canada.
Yeah.
And from the festival. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was just like, oh, yeah, I could be funny with this
I have
person.
my moments of being chatty and then being really quiet. Tom has to deal with my increasing ADD over the last 6 years. It's gotten worse.
Has it gotten worse?
I think because it's just the Zoom of it all.
The Zoom of it doesn't help.
Yeah. It's tough for me. I have to really, it's not you guys, it's all me, but I have to really make myself focus.
You've really taught me a lot about my daughter.
Yeah.
Because she has it.
Yeah.
And I really has given me a perspective, because as a parent, I would be like, well, you just do the thing, clean the thing and do the thing and do the thing. And it wasn't until learning from you, like, no, that's just not how the brain works.
Yeah, it just goes into, I'll just find myself staring out the window sometimes, or like, look, if anything beeps on my phone, it's like right away.
That's when I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell when we're not in the studio and we're doing Zoom, I can tell that something's going on work-wise.
I know, there's always
because
something.
I'll just see your eyes like dart down.
People don't leave me alone during these times. Like, they should know by now. 6 years in, and they'll be like, "We need 5 answers right away," and I'm like, "Ah."
Yeah, yeah. I can always tell
what
when
I get
kicks.
for doing too many things.
But yeah. But that's that's.
You're very good and patient about it with me, though. Thank you.
Well, it's a good thing that I overtalk, which is a good balance.
We've found our lanes.
Yeah. Can you tell when I'm tired? So we do this radio show. If anyone doesn't have Sirius XM, which is like, get with the program.
Yeah, get it now.
Get on it.
What
We've
are
been
we
doing
even
this Netflix is a joke radio show forever, and so we do it 4 days a week.
Yeah.
For
2 hours,
6 years.
2 hours a day. That's
2
a
hours a
lot
day.
of talking.
It's a lot.
I often think, what else could I possibly say?
I know, but there's always something.
Somehow there's something.
I mean, even today was such a perfect example because we did we do this segment of what does Fortune like or what does Tom like. Have we ever done what does Joe like?
Oh,
We should turn it on you guys.
Turn it on Joe.
Might have been Charlene once, but not me.
But
You
it's a
gotta-
very funny thing because it's what is Fortune like,
Yeah.
and you bring up something like watermelon, and it's like we've known each other for a long time now. We
Yeah.
talk every day, and then they're like, "Does Fortune like watermelon?" And you're like,
Y'all had
"Holy
no idea.
shit, I don't know." Right? You're like, I think I know everything about this person, but maybe not.
See, there's always something to learn.
Yeah. Can you tell when I'm tired and cranky?
You're not tired and cranky often. You're usually pretty positive. Occasionally, if you'll just get like a little snippy about something, but it's not directed towards
Right.
anyone usually. Don't you think, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I mean, I can tell when you're tired because you've been on the road and not slept for days.
Right.
Yeah.
By looking at your schedule.
Right. Just from looking at the schedule, but not
Yeah.
my face.
You'll just be like, I think we just live in a state of tiredness, maybe.
Well, I have to say, and you hear this about people once in a while, of like that's the hardest working person in show business, I have to say, and this isn't a brag, it's just a reality. We work harder than most.
We do. We do.
We do. I mean,
Yeah.
between our podcasts, you have the Great Handsome podcast, and all of your acting stuff and stand-up tour nonstop.
Yeah.
Like I feel this is how busy we are.
Tell everyone. Let them know.
When we just have our radio show,
Yeah.
I consider that a day off,
I do too.
right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that's what a light day that is.
And I always laugh with Joe whenever we have radio vacation. I literally have nothing going on. And I'm like, oh man, this is like the worst because I have nothing going on. He's like, yeah, you should just do nothing.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, really?
Yeah.
It would be better if it came on a busy week.
Yeah, while I'm filming something.
Yeah.
It's like, but then you get no
Yeah,
break
then
ever.
There's no break. He's like, it should be you're not working. I'm like, oh yeah, I guess
Yeah.
So I think legitimately, when we're off for a couple weeks, I will take that time off.
I know. Me too. I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and do the thing that you hear people do when they don't check their emails.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'll probably still do that.
Yeah, I
but,
probably will too, but I'm gonna try.
but I'm going to not schedule a single thing.
Yeah.
Not a show, not a podcast for like 2 weeks.
That'll be pretty good. I
Yeah.
wonder if we'll be different after it.
Because we took 2 weeks off.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll really change.
Yeah, we're gonna be very different
In that
characters.
time.
Congratulations on Fubar.
Thank you.
Second season of this big giant. It's a giant thing.
It was a cool thing to film because it was so big budgeted and big stunts and action sequences and so different than what I get to do before Fubar. It was all
Yeah.
sitcoms, you know,
Yeah.
a couple of funny movies here and there. So to like just get to like say jargon and shoot guns and run from explosions, it was pretty cool.
It's really crazy. And to reinforce how hard you work, while you filmed that in Toronto, you hardly skipped any radio.
Yeah, just a week here and there.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it worked out. Both seasons, pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just kept going.
Interestingly enough, it just kind of works out. But
Yeah.
you guys are, especially Joe, is pretty, and you are very good about bobbing and weaving with me, which I think is what has helped us last 6 years. Because when I've been in, professional situations where there's not much flexibility, you kind of have to
Yeah.
move on.
Right, exactly.
So
Yeah, that is the coolest part of the thing of the radio show that I didn't see coming was it's two comedians being the hub of Netflix comedy,
yeah.
and that we can not stop that we were able to stay really active comics and be on the road. You'll be in Michigan, I'll be in North Carolina, still do the show and then you come back into the studio and then you have your guests and it's like, it really is a comic's life.
Yeah, for sure. Well, if they're getting the real thing, if you
Yeah.
want to see behind the curtain of a stand-up,
Which is really boring. I can't believe people want to listen to it. They're just talking about what we ate when we got to a town.
People did like it when at that one point when we were helping that intern, can't remember his name now.
Oh yeah, Scones.
Helping him write jokes. That was fun to do with you.
That was fun.
We were like helping him craft a joke, and people I think really enjoyed seeing us come up with stuff.
That was really fun.
Yeah, we should help someone else write.
We should help somebody. John, do you know who we're talking about? Who was on our radio show? His name is Scones.
I don't think he would know that nickname. That was our radio nickname.
Oh, he's not Scones out in the world.
No. I want to try some of that.
This one?
This one too, yeah.
Or that one?
And the banana bread, all of it.
All right, good. His name was John Cena.
No, that's a wrestler.
Senna. Right? Wasn't that his name? It was something like
John
that.
something.
Luna.
Oh yeah.
He's on the open mic scene.
Yeah, I've seen him.
He's a funny guy. He's a sweet kid.
Yeah, he's very sweet. Ooh, this is good.
He was our intern for a beat.
Oh no way.
We helped him
Yeah.
write jokes.
Hell yeah.
We helped him write jokes. And yeah, we came up with some good stuff for him. And
Yeah.
it would work in his act. Then we helped him with his love life.
Oh, that was fun too.
That was a lot of fun.
We should get a new intern to help
I
them with their love
know.
life.
How do we get a new intern?
Well, now that I know you want one, we'll find someone. Does it need to be the same joke and love person, or can you help different people with different issues?
You can help whoever.
We can help
you can have a
anybody.
different intern every couple of months.
Yeah. Because I saw that other guy. Remember the guy who wanted to be on The Bachelor?
Oh, our
yeah.
first
I see
guy.
him on Instagram once in a while.
And do you need
He was
them to
fun.
actually do intern duties, or you just want to help their lives and their material?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a you question.
Okay, no.
So we're not sure how radio
Yeah,
works.
stop making us answer these.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you covered.
Oh, that was good, whatever that thing was.
That was really good. It was like a
Oh,
oatmeal whoopie
whoopie
pie.
Banana bread. Where these treats come from?
Lodge bread. Yeah. Because I know you're traveling tonight, so I skipped
I
the
know.
bread.
Oh, this is perfect.
All right, good.
When I come back though, and you come back, I want bread.
All right, calm down.
Do you?
Tell our listeners my favorite dish for you that I make for you.
My favorite pasta dish is a lemon pasta. I just really like the sweet, savory. Sweet savory is my combo of choice.
Right.
And you make a great lemon pasta.
Thank you.
And so a couple of times now, I have been lucky enough to go to Tom's, and he's made it for me.
I like being able to cook for people who really appreciate it.
Well, you've cooked for me in happy times. Mm-hmm. You've cooked for me when my life was falling apart.
I did?
Yeah. Always nice of you.
The last lemon pasta was a sad time?
Uh-huh.
Right.
I'm like, Wah, life is hard.
Oh, well, you did have a couple big things this year. You had some big changes,
I did.
some big stuff going down.
I'm going through a divorce,
Right? It's
and
fun.
my mom has cancer.
Yeah, double whammy.
I mean, how fun is that?
Yeah, that's a great.
That's a time to eat lemon pasta.
That's a time to work your ass off.
That's what I've done, throwing myself into work.
Yeah, and again, you didn't stop during all of that. You just kept cranking it out. You cried a couple times.
I
but
cried. Yeah. I would, yeah, everything was kind of unraveling.
Yeah.
And I would get on radio. You know, that's the tricky part of our job is, you know, we're to make people feel good and laugh all the time.
Yeah.
And then when your life is unraveling, you got to still show up for work.
And then you're like, do you like watermelon?
So I would sign on in the morning and kind of have it together for a minute. And then someone would say something and then just tears streaming down my face.
Yeah.
I would put myself on mute.
Yeah.
And you
And
guys
I'd be like, Joe, do you like watermelon?
y'all would have to continue on. And I'm just like sobbing over there. I was on the radio when my mom called me and told me she had cancer.
We couldn't believe it.
I was like, hey,
because we had been through the relationship troubles for about 6 months.
Yeah.
And it was like, things were starting to settle into what it was going to be. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like, it wasn't as raw. I mean, it's still raw, but it was coming. You had a direction.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you got this phone call.
Well, she kept texting and calling, and I was like, she knows I, have this standing radio appointment. And I was like, oh, you guys, like, I gotta, do you mind if I mute myself for a minute? My mom keeps calling me, and
yeah.
So I'm like on Zoom with y'all. Mm-hmm. And she's at the time she told me it was stage 4, stage 2 now, but it's.
Oh shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's stage 2, but it's very aggressive. So it's a different stage 2 than a regular stage 2. It's still pretty serious. It's very serious.
Sure.
She does have a mass on her liver that is like the size of an orange.
Right.
And so I'm like on radio with you guys, and she is dropping this ginormous bomb.
Yeah.
And because I had literally just separated the day before.
Yeah.
This was a 1-2 punch.
And then all of a sudden you get this call, and you're in mute. And we're in our little Ford Zoom boxes, and we just see you starting to cry,
tears streaming down my face.
Head down, and we're like blabbing away on the radio and looking at each other like, what could this be? Because we got through the other part.
Yeah.
What could it be?
You're like, what is wrong with her? Why is her life so dramatic?
And then you came back, and it was like, my mom's ill, and it was like, come on.
I know, because it was.
This is just ridiculous
all
timing.
All this was within 24 hours of each other.
Jeez.
And it was tough. That week was hard. Then the tabloids found out about my marriage situation, and that was the next day. And so it was all that 3 days in a row. And I didn't leave my house for 3 days.
Really?
It was a lot.
Yeah. I always daydream about when my wife and I would get divorced. Would People magazine care?
Let me tell you, I did not think that anyone would care.
Yeah.
I did not. That is something I could have never foreseen coming.
Really?
Ever in a million years. When they called to say that was happening, I was like, you have to, what?
Yeah.
Why does anyone care about me and my marriage? Like,
well, you are a very well-known person.
Well, other than like my fans because I've talked about my marriage and all my stand-up, that I understand that caring for sure, because that is part of my life. Been 10 years of my life, and someone I care about. I just would not have thought in a million years that would have happened.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of it. It was jarring. It made me go like it makes you like be like, can I even talk to people about life things? Like,
yeah, because all of a sudden the press is snooping around and wanting to know like why and how and whatever. So then it's like, well, who are they trying to talk
I'm like,
to?
who am I? A handful of people I've talked to.
Yeah.
Who in the world is sharing this information? And it just felt it was hard. That is not the kind of life I lead. I'm known because of what I do, but I'm not out there, trying to be in the paper or any of that. Like, I just am I consider myself so boring.
But do you think it's just because she was a part of your story? Like, it was, in the specials and a lot of the jokes of the two of you.
Could have just been a slow news day, truth be told. I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding.
It could have just been like, oh, here's somebody that's known and this is happening.
We need a story.
Yeah.
We need something to talk about.
But, it was like, hey, this is still pretty boring too. So
yeah.
we're just, people unfortunately separate and divorce, and that happens.
Yeah, and let me take this moment to say sincerely to the camera, I was just kidding about the divorce part. It was just a joke about People Magazine trying to relate with Fortune. And Cynthia, if you're listening to this and walking the dogs, just know that I love you.
Aw.
Thanks.
Yeah, she's gonna see that for sure.
Yeah, she definitely would have been angry. When you hear rumblings of like other people are talking, like you said, like who would be talking about my relationship? How long in the analysis of it did you think Joe?
I for sure went straight to Joe.
Right.
I was like, this has Joe written all over it.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it wasn't
Very
any of you guys
gossipy.
because we'd been talking for months and months and months.
We had so many opportunities. That is true.
Yeah, that was pretty clear.
We still have some scoops they don't know about.
My parents were like, they found out on the news too. They were like, you didn't even, I didn't even tell my family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, we're trying to figure out what was happening. But,
Yeah. How is it affecting your act right now? Like when you're out on tour? Like, because you're like me. You talk a lot
Right.
about you're based loosely on your personal life.
Yeah. I mean, I have to talk about it at some point because I have 3 specials talking about my partner. First my girlfriend, then my fiance, then my wife.
Right.
She is a part of my life for sure. In these big bodies of work. So I cannot go out there and just be like, act like I never was married.
And your fans are very loyal. They really love you and care about you.
And they care about her and they cared about us and our
Yeah.
little family that we've created and want the best for both of us. And that's very much appreciated. Right now I'm just kind of going, this happened and I don't have anything to say about it at the moment.
Right.
I will in time.
Yeah.
So I haven't, because whatever I say about it, I want it to be meaningful and, address it in a proper, respectful way.
Yeah.
I just don't have the words right now because
Yeah.
I'm still going through it. And I think when I get a little bit further down the road and have better words for it, that's when it will
Yeah.
transpire on stage.
It's an amazing thing when you're in that kind of a situation because you think like I've got to address this big thing. You really don't. Even just mentioning that we're at this place now, like and my relationship is just paraphrasing, like in my relationship, which has seen better days, or as we're splitting up and it's sad, and then talk about whatever you're talking about. Just giving them a little, acknowledging takes the question out of it.
Right.
They're not craving more. They don't need more. And it's what I'm trying to say is when you have heavy things, a small amount of words really accomplishes the goal.
That's probably what it will have to be for now.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. I didn't tell people about what was happening with my mom for a bit either. And I didn't talk about what was happening with Jax for a bit. So a lot of this was happening behind the scenes for a bit. And then finally it started to address things. And then my first show back when both of these things had come to light, I really didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And I just went out there and I was like, well, I'm getting a divorce. My mom has cancer. And it really brought the mood down. Everyone was like, and you hear the ohs, and that is like the worst thing to hear as a comic is like, oh, you're like, no, it's fine, please. And I'm like, okay, well, I can't start like that because you cannot start with a bomb.
No.
And then go, let me tell you some jokes now.
Yeah, no, not at the start. They got to know that they got to sense that you're okay first.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way after a couple of nights of that.
Yeah.
And then I finally found a way to sort of insert it like flippantly, but I don't want to be flippant. You know what I mean? So it's like a hard balance, and when I know I will find,
Yeah.
I just haven't yet.
Yeah. Support for today's episode is brought to you by IQBar, exclusive snack and hydration sponsor. We are so excited to announce that they've teamed up with Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, on 2 special edition products, a salted caramel chip protein bar and a yuzu mango hydration mix. These guys are great. This collaboration came out of Chef Keller's daily regimen of IQBar products and combines IQBar's nutritional excellence with Keller's culinary expertise. He was into IQBars and then decided to try and make a couple flavors with his talent, and they've merged, and now we've got them. I have to say, I'm kind of addicted to these. They're so great. For the road, even like coming in here, I've been trying to like not, it's been getting hot here and I'm running around, I'm doing podcasts and doing all this stuff and doing the radio shows. And I just toss these in the bars I toss in my bag, and just knowing that I have it and will get me through whenever I start getting weird. Perfect. And then it's so nice to be able to talk about something you really use. And then, these hydration, what do they call these? Hydration, they're powders. It's basically electrolytes. So when I come out of the sauna, and Gabby and I were talking about the sauna, if you want to hydrate the right way and not just be pounding water that's not going to stay in your system, you have a whole bunch of these in the house, and you make them, they taste great, and you're hydrated the right way. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their busy lifestyles with IQ bars, brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. When IQ Bar sent the caramel chip and the other, the yuzu mango, they're just perfect. They're good. You guys should have them. They taste delicious. That's another thing. You get these bars, and sometimes they're not so great. These are great. And right now, IQBar is offering our special podcast listeners 20% off all IQBar products, plus free shipping. It's so nice to get them in. You get the box, and then you just throw it in your pantry and just have it open. I know I'm gushing. To get your 20% off, text PAPA to 64,000. This is a text situation. Just text PAPA, P-A-P-A, to 64,000. Text PAPA to 64,000, and message and data rates may apply. You'll see terms for details. But text PAPA, P-A-P-A, and you will get 20% off any of the products and free shipping. Really glad that they're a part of it, and go check them out and support our podcast at the same time. Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Were you ever in a fist fight?
With my brothers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How old were you?
God, most of my childhood. They didn't really care that I was a girl.
Oh, no?
Yeah, my grandmother would get really mad at him. She's a girl. You can't hit her like that. But I was bad about instigating.
That's on your dad.
He wasn't really around.
He wasn't around. So how old were you when he split?
12.
12.
Yeah.
Well, now he should have put that in when they were like when you were like 5.
Fist fights happened before and some earlier. I mean, later. But yeah, it was just you just punched each other. I punched them too.
Sure.
And I instigated. I was like my dog Biggie, who didn't realize how little he was, barking at the big dogs.
Right.
I would.
You were starting.
Yeah, what are you gonna do about it?
Right.
Pop.
Hey.
Mom.
Well, my father was I had 2 younger sisters.
Yeah.
Have 2 younger sisters, and my father was very early, very sternly told me,
You don't
do
hit.
not, never.
Yeah.
And I wanted to so bad.
I know, because when you're siblings, you don't care about that stuff.
Oh, I could ruin you.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the wind knocked out of me a number of times.
Wow.
Busted lips.
You were so cute. Those Instagram posts of you being in your little dresses with your little poofy, your hair went straight up.
Yeah.
It's so cute. Oh man. When you were coming up, you started at Groundlings and had this good run in improv and sketch and stuff like that. And then you move over to comedy.
I move over to comedy or stand-up
to
comedy.
stand-up comedy. Yeah, I literally in my head was like, move.
That doesn't count.
In my head, it was literally you moving to the Comedy Store. Yeah, I'm jealous of that chapter, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah, like I was watching the Paul Rubens, the Pee Wee Herman doc, and all of it seemed like such a fun, creative environment.
Fun and stressful.
Yeah.
It becomes a bubble there where it's your end all be all, and I don't know what it's like now, but the system's set up to like compete, and like you're voted on,
right?
And so you're never able to like fully just embrace and enjoy it. You're always being looked at and decided on,
right.
So it added a layer of stress to what would have been a pretty magical experience. A lot of people crying and tears and sobbing, and when they get cut or something, and
which is the way that like the ultimate, right, SNL kind of like is, right?
Yeah.
It seems like all beautiful and fun, but it's a very highly political environment.
Yeah, you bond and you write all hours of the night. You're with each other constantly. But, I look back on this day so fondly. We were all so broke, but we were just like so pumped to just be making stuff, you know, shopping for costumes, writing.
It's so great.
Eating food late at night, going to bars, in the theater till like 2 in the morning. It was cool.
It's so great.
Yeah.
So when you moved over to stand-up, was it you're a little more isolated?
Yeah.
You're kind of on your own a little bit.
Yeah, definitely a more like I just felt like a loner in that.
Was that more comfortable because you're out of the political scrum, or
I was
is it
doing
more
them
lonely?
simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
So I felt like that's what helped make both worlds a little more palatable. I was leaving, the groundlings and going to the store and stuff.
Right.
And so I didn't feel as alone doing the stand up because I had all my friends at the other place.
Right.
But I just knew I liked stand up and I liked being on stage, and I felt like people understood me more.
Right.
In stand up.
Oh, because you just be you.
Just me, yeah. I didn't have to, I could play a lot of characters, but you're still kind of seeing me to an extent.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, stand up, just people just got it.
Right.
More.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I came into my own more for sure.
So you were out when you started stand up. You were.
Yeah, I came out the same year I started Groundlings. I came out in 2005 and started Groundlings in 05.
Yeah.
So then when I started stand up, I was kind of newerly out.
Right.
Newerly. Is that a word?
Newerly is a word.
Newly? It's
not.
Newly.
New Orleans.
Newly.
In New Orleans?
Newly out.
That's kind of a blessing, though, because I know I have friends that weren't out, but had started stand up, and then you've got to make that transition while you're on stage, and you're a little into your career. That's a
and I had never thought about it because I did a lot of comedy. People were getting to know me around the LA scene.
Yeah,
I wasn't getting traction outside of it. So when I did shows in town, I didn't think twice about it. Like, this is who I am. I'm just telling my stories. And then I got Last Comic Standing in 2010. And for the first time, I go, wait, what is it okay that I just tell everyone I'm gay? Like, is that weird?
Yeah.
And I think I called my manager at the time and I was like, do I just say I'm gay? Like, like, it's okay. And, to her credit, she was like, yeah, just be yourself.
Right.
And so there was never a time on stage where I wasn't.
That's amazing.
But I also feel like my comedy is so me, who I am.
Yeah.
It would have been pretty inauthentic to try to pretend. And I'm pretty gay looking. That it would have been like an elephant in a room if I was like, I went on a date with this guy. Or like, somebody needs to talk to her.
Who is this guy?
But I was straight my first 2 years in LA, which had to have been a wild thing for the people that knew me then to be like, really?
Oh, because you still were.
I was not out. Yeah.
Right.
I moved to LA in 2003.
In 2003.
Came out in between 5 and 6.
And how long did you know?
I mean, I think I knew deep down for a long time, but I just suppressed it or thought it was like a non-thing.
Do you actually have like a moment of like, wait a minute, what am I doing? This is...
once I moved to LA, I started to get a little bit more like confused and curious and stuff. And it was a lack of exposure. I didn't know any gay people, and there wasn't a lot of gay content out there.
Right.
I just didn't see myself in anything, like anything I could be like, wait, I feel that. I resonate with that. And then I started to be more exposed to the world, and the West Hollywood parade, gay pride parade, was on the public access channel. Like, what is this? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Seeing the L word. I mean, that stuff does like blow your mind when you
gives
see,
you some like, holy cow,
where
wait.
you go, whoa, that's even possible.
Right.
It feels so naive in these times to say that, but this was 20 however many years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago, that it just even then was very different. And not really as like, I sound 80. The young kids these days are kind of have more freedom to be like, I don't know what I like. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah, and they hear it when they're young.
Or like, I'm fluid. You hear that a lot. Like, I like people. Like, that was not the case. It was very black and white back then.
So how challenging was it when James Gandolfini came to the Groundlings, and then you were already out, and then you fall in love with him?
He definitely had a charm that very few men have been able to work on me. And he was not hitting on me at all, but he made me giggle like a schoolgirl because he came. This would have been 2009 or 10. I really can't remember.
You've been out for a while.
Yeah, and he came to our show because he was friends with one of the performers, and after the show, he paid for everyone's dinner and had them bring another round. And we were so broke that was like the nicest thing anyone could ever do. We couldn't believe someone had that kind of money to just pick up everyone's tab. And I went over there to thank him, and he just like grabbed me in this bear hug and just like pulled me in, and he started like whispering in my ear, but not in like a sexual way, but just like, he was like, "You're so fucking funny. Oh my God. Like, I could watch you forever." And I started giggling like, and he just kept doing it, like whispering in my ear, and I was just like, "Oh my God, you're so sweet." It's just something about it. I was like, "Oh my God, did I just fall for James Gandolfini?" I mean,
That's amazing.
I was like, this guy is it.
It's so funny because I was in New York at the time and had the same experience with him.
You did?
No.
I'm sure you made men feel that way too. He was a cool guy.
We all wanted to be him.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You talk about ghosts.
I do.
And and you've had some run-ins with ghosts. Mm-hmm. If you ever are a ghost, say you were a ghost,
let's say,
who would you haunt?
Whew. Well, I don't know. That seems sad to like. Doesn't that mean you're kind of like stuck or something?
Well, let's not deal with the details. You're a happy ghost.
I'm a happy ghost.
You're a ghost by choice.
I'm just coming to say hi to people when I feel like it. Well, I'm not.
You want to linger? This
sounds sad, but like I don't have kids, so like hopefully I have a while on Earth. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who will I. Hopefully, I'm old.
What, you're saying you want kids eventually?
No. I'm saying like, who am I going to come back and haunt? Hopefully, I'm old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll be older.
I'm gonna eat this other one too. Sorry, y'all aren't gonna get any of this. Y'all gonna have all that.
Yeah, I don't know who I would haunt. I'd like to like check in on some people that you don't get to see.
Like Oprah.
Yeah, or Tom Cruise.
Just see what they're up to.
Yeah. What do you do on a Tuesday night, Tom Cruise?
That's fair.
When you're home in your living room, how do you live? Mm-hmm. Because in my mind, I picture Tom Cruise like doing push-ups, or like meditating, or
how
like.
often do you think about Tom Cruise? Too much.
I don't know. Is there anything such thing? It's too much Tom Cruise.
I don't really want to haunt anyone. Just so you know.
So you don't.
No.
So they'd be like, you got to go down there and haunt. And you'd be like, I can't.
Yeah, I'd be like, can I just hang out with my grandmother? I don't want to be hanging out
That's
with
funny.
my grandma in heaven.
That's funny. You're like, I finally get to heaven.
Yeah,
I get to be with my grandmother. Why
wanna-
do I got to go
Yeah,
peer in on Oprah?
I want to hang out with my grandma
No, that's nice.
Yeah.
You love your grandma.
I
She was
love
your
her.
most favorite person of all the people.
of all time.
Of all time.
All time. And
That's so cool.
I just wish I could have known her as an adult. She died when I was 18. And it just bums me to no end. But, you know, that happens.
Yeah.
It bums me out that I couldn't have had adult conversations with her. But I will say, as much as you can appreciate a person as a teen, I did give her
Right.
every ounce of appreciation that someone my age could have.
Right. You wouldn't spend time with her.
Yeah, a
hung
lot
out.
of time spent. Took her to, you know, when I could finally drive, I would take her to eat and stuff and
Right.
go visit her regularly. Thankfully she just lived around the corner, so
Who's your mom's mom?
it's my mom's mom. So even though I only had her till I was 18, I feel like I had her more than you might a grandmother who lived, you know,
Right.
like my mom's 6 hours from some of her grandkids.
Yeah, yeah.
My grandmother was a part of everyday life for
That's so great.
my whole life, and just a special person who just was light, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
She just made everyone very happy and was a very selfless person who just, like, you know, little things. She would cut roses and take them to the bank tellers or the secretaries at school, the librarians. She just, like, did little gestures for people.
Wow.
So when she died, there were many people with stories of her showing love and light and just
Isn't that
being a
amazing?
blessing.
Like how that's such a small thing. Giving a rose to the bank teller.
Yeah.
Is such a small thing. But you don't do it. We don't do it on the regular
Yeah.
because it's actually a pretty gigantic thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And she didn't think twice about it.
Yeah.
She dedicated her life to us grandkids and just did for us. And, and just the little things I would miss, like, she would pick my friends and I up from school and we would drive past, like she would be like, that's a cherry tree and that's this bird and it was very old fashioned, but my friends even loved it.
Right.
They were so sweet to her about it. Like, we just
Yeah.
liked the thing I would have sleepovers at her house and she'd teach us how to make mints. You know, it was like everything was kind of old fashioned, but like weirdly enough, we were all very into it. And
What'd she look like?
this is gonna sound so crazy. She kind of looked like George Washington in her face. She had like a longer nose and like that white curly hair, a thin petite woman, which
petite
is
George
funny because
Washington.
I do not come from petite folks.
Right.
But she was always thin and but just God, so like such a matriarch, so strong.
Yeah.
Her husband died when she was like 48 or something.
wow.
She never remarried, so she was just this like presence of like, this is the foundation of our family.
Right. Did
So-
she get along with your mom?
Yeah, very much so.
Oh,
My
that's
mom
nice.
adored her, but
Yeah.
my mom said she was more. It's weird because my grandma was so affectionate with me, but
Yeah.
not affectionate with my mom as a kid.
Kids and
I
grandkids.
can't even imagine that because she was so
Yeah.
loving and touchy feely. Like,
Yeah.
I love yous. Not like that with my mom.
It's a parent and a grandkid. It's a
weird.
different thing. Yeah.
But everyone's lives were so rocked when she died.
Yeah.
Because she was just such an anchor. And, you know, the thing she did for me in post-mortem, you know, you never really know what legacy you'll leave.
Yeah.
And I don't think she even thought about that stuff, but she's who wanted my mom to name me Fortune. It was her mother's maiden name. And there was a lot of Fortunes in our family, last name Fortune, and she just was very adamant that my mom named me Fortune, and my mom thought it was too big of a name, and it ultimately became a middle name,
Right.
and I grew up as Emily. So that was an interesting gift she gave me, because when I found that story out, as I got older, I was like, why wouldn't you just name me Fortune? That's like a way better
That's
name.
a great name.
Yeah. And so when I started comedy, I started using it kind of as an homage to her. But she also did such a gift for me when she died. She had, it's a sad story, but I'll tell it very briefly. She, beginning of my senior year of high school, they said she had cancer and she had a year to live. And then the year to the day, they said she has 2 weeks to a month.
Wow.
I just graduated high school. And so I kind of dedicated that summer to being with her. And she told my mom she would see me off to college, which would have been mid-August. And this was mid-May. And the doctors were like, there's no... medically impossible.
Not making it to
Not
August.
gonna happen.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm gonna see her off to college. And she lived for 3 months.
Whoa.
And really deteriorated. I mean, it was like 70 pounds. I mean, she
Yeah.
was not in a good way. And we kept her at home with hospice and everything. And
Yeah.
it was a very spiritual summer, and you'd think she was gonna die, and you gotta go say your goodbyes. So that that
keep
was
going.
the worst. Just like trying to tell someone that's like your end all be all, like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
You can go. I'm like,
and you get outside and
I'm
collapse.
17. What's that?
Why is she leaving me?
Yeah. You're like, it's fine. We're all good. You can pass. And it was devastating. And
Sure.
sure enough, it came time for me to leave for college. She was sort of unconscious. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I went to say goodbye knowing that was it. And
Wow.
told her
She made it.
Told her I was leaving for college, and she died the next morning at 10 a.m.
Wow.
And people there was cancer doctors that my mom knew who studied her case, and they were like, how did she live for 3 months?
Wow.
It started as skin cancer, and it went inside, like a tumor went in, it surrounded her brain, spinal cord. They were like, the amount of pain that this woman was in is like
God.
unfathomable. The fact that she lived for 3 months with that, insane.
Yeah.
Because she was too old for like radiation and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
She just had to be given morphine.
Yeah.
So she did that for me for 3 months. Lived in this kind of pain. When I did not say ouch or poor me.
No grumble.
Not one time. It changed my life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Change your life.
I'm like, how do you be a piece of shit after that?
Right.
I mean, not to say I'm perfect, but it just gave me this purpose of like,
Yeah.
I cannot throw away life. I have to be a decent human.
Yeah.
Like, this person did this thing for me, like the ultimate act of love and belief in me, to see me off to college, like very symbolic of like, go do something with your life.
Head out in the world.
I was like, I have to not be a turd.
Wow.
And she just set me on this path of like, I got to do something with my life.
So I guess the big question is, why are you so mean when we sign on for the radio?
She would be very upset with me. She's been gone for a while.
Is there a part of you that thought maybe I don't go to college and keep her alive?
What? It is crazy how things work out.
That is crazy.
Because and not that I would have ever traded this for anything. I would have given anything to have her still be around. It would have been very difficult for me to move to LA with her alive.
Right.
I don't know that I could have done it.
Yeah. 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 That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's hard. All those roots are too strong.
Yeah.
You want to know something else that's kind of a kismet?
Tell me.
A little creepy, a little something?
Yeah, please.
Look over your left shoulder or right shoulder.
James Gandolfini. What? My boyfriend is looking at me.
I just noticed it.
Oh, he was gone way too soon.
I know.
That was such a tragedy.
That is amazing, though. Like that is a thing of like leaving your hometown and all the roots that are there, because you could always see like that could have been a very nice life. That would have been
very different.
Yeah.
And do you think I would have been straight?
No.
You think I would have found a boyfriend, got married,
Yeah, you might have.
and then
You
divorced?
and then divorced, yeah.
You know, I just always have this belief
Yeah.
of that, not in her death, but just life, that
Right.
things just, that work out. You're kind of set on this path, and you gotta follow the path. And
Do you still talk to her?
my grandmother, all the time. I'm so hippy dippy in that way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, whenever I'm struggling, especially in these days, I talk to her more than ever.
Yeah.
I look like a crazy person, I'm sure. I'll be out in the
Yeah.
backyard, just be like, Nana, I need you.
Yeah.
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 And I talked to that medium, Tyler Henry, I did that Netflix show of
Oh,
his.
yeah.
And, whether or not you believe in that stuff, up to you. But his whole thing was that she's with me a lot,
Oh, really?
which I felt and thought. But,
Mm-hmm.
to hear someone say that is never hurts.
So like how did he present it?
I would have to go back and watch it. I don't remember.
Right.
Because there's a lot of information coming at you.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
my two uncles who were special needs kept interrupting.
Oh, really?
And I would go pass.
They would show up.
There were such big characters, these larger than life guys,
Yeah.
who had like mental capacities of like a 10-year-old, but like the sweetest, greatest. I love them so much.
Yeah.
But I wanted to hear from my grandmother,
And they're like,
and
hey,
they kept interrupting, and I was like, pass. And he was like, we've never had anyone pass before. I'm like, I mean no disrespect. I love my uncles, but what are they gonna tell
they're
me?
making fart noises.
Yeah, like I need to hear from my grandmother. So
That's
I gotta
funny.
go back and watch it because I can't remember everything he said about
Yeah.
her, but the essence that she's with me quite a bit. I did
Yeah.
ask him if she knew if I was gay. And he
Oh, really?
And he said, I'm pretty sure she's aware.
Oh, really? He's just going off what he sees.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what prayer is, right?
I mean, yeah, essentially, yeah.
You need to kind of talk to something outside of what we've got.
Well, I kind of, in my way of keeping her memory alive all these years, just sort of, think of her like a guardian angel kind of thing. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
You feel her around. Mm-hmm. You and I have talked as a radio bit. We've talked from time to time about, because we've done the show in New York. And then, we're mostly here in LA, and we always kid around about like, what if we were in New York and what if we were to live there and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we do a thing on the show called An Uncomfortable Moment.
Uh-huh.
And I kind of just took a look at how we would maybe live in New York.
Okay. Let's hear it.
I don't think this is really an uncomfortable moment as much as a
when I
joyful moment.
When I turn you down, it could be uncomfortable.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Okay.
What do you think of this picture? You and me in bunk beds?
Oh my God. Why are you look comatose?
Well, I had a big day. I was working really hard.
I don't.
You got some KFC in your hand.
I do like that. That's from my sweet and salty poster. I mean, I would do that for like a weekend at an
Right?
Airbnb.
You're on the top bunk. I'm on the bottom.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that full time.
But now you're single. We can kind of do
Now that
whatever
I'm
we
single,
want.
I can do whatever I want. And being with you in a bunk bed is one of those things.
Look, when you zoom in, it looks pretty cool.
If I was still with Jack, she would definitely say no.
Yeah, I don't see Cynthia signing off on this either. But it looks fun.
Yeah.
We could just be like a comedy couple.
Yeah, for a weekend.
All right. I'll take a weekend.
Okay.
We can find.
We'll go-
Rach, can we
we'll-
find an
we'll-
Airbnb with a bunk bed?
We'll go to the cellar and work out material
Yeah.
and make a whole weekend of it.
It would be very cool.
Yeah.
Can we get an intern? We really do need an intern. It would liven the show up a little bit.
On air, yes.
Yeah.
But was this related to your New York move? Do you need
Oh yeah, he
just
pivoted back.
I pivoted, yeah.
Like, are we hiring someone to move you to New York?
No, I'm sorry. I've been drinking wine.
All right, good. Yeah, then yes.
Right?
We can get you an intern.
All
It would be
right.
cool. But here's the bad
Spice
part.
things up a little bit.
If they are a comedian, I mean, we'd like to help them with their act.
Well, you need the internship to have a timeline on it.
Yeah.
It should be like a 3-month internship.
Right. So that no one's disappointed when they lose their job. Because they will lose their job, especially.
At some point, they probably will.
Yeah, as a comedian, they don't really want a job.
Yeah, they don't really want to be doing. They just want to be on the radio.
Yeah.
And start to think it's their show.
Right. And that's when it comes
and
into
then we
trouble.
have to be like, well, it's not your show.
Yeah, exactly. That's why that guy ended up leaving.
Okay, I'm making notes.
All right, thank you.
3 months,
3-month internship.
then they're gone.
Great opportunity.
Right.
But they know going in it's 3 months, so no one's in trouble. But if for some reason they were amazing, or like, congratulations, it's been extended 2 months.
Right. That sounds great.
Yeah, but they should know there's like, because if they're bad, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
we did it 3 months.
That is one thing I've learned about you
What?
in our time together. You have a very good business mind.
Yeah, I do.
You're good at that.
I'll take that.
Yeah, you are. You have a good sense, a good practical sense about how to navigate.
That's just been time and experience
Yeah.
and just having, like, when I moved out here, I had nothing,
Yeah.
and had no business background. It's just learning as I go. But
Right.
I saw my family make a lot of business mistakes over the years, and my only goal was to just not repeat that pattern and not be like dumb when it came to money.
Yeah.
So I'm very fiscally responsible, but yeah, for whatever reason, my brain just sort of understands the business well. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
Yeah. Is it because you know people well, or is that not related?
Sure. I've surprised myself over the years of just like, how did I know that thing, or why did I think to do that thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of pivot with the moves and making
Yeah.
decisions and stuff. But I feel like I've navigated it fairly well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Made mistakes here and there, but you just try to take those on the chin and do better next time.
Yeah. No, but you do seem to have like a good sense of the right moves to make, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a cool thing to watch.
Thanks. I
Do you
appreciate it.
think that like hooking up with me and doing the radio show was a business decision, or was it more of a love decision?
It was a combo. It was, I really liked you, and you seemed like a good guy, and it would be someone fun to work with. So that's first and foremost for me, because if I have turned down plenty of business opportunities with people that didn't seem like good people.
Yeah.
I'm not in it just for a paycheck.
Right.
I have no problem saying no to things.
Yeah.
And I've said no to some surprising things
Yeah.
to some people, but I'm like, that's not a good person.
Uh-huh.
That's the cancer in me. God, I'm
Yeah.
like really hippie on this show today. Just feeling energy from people and
Yeah.
vibes. And if
Yeah.
it's a bad vibe, I don't care if it's like a ton of money or I'm like, no, thank you.
Have you passed on stuff like that?
I have passed on a couple of things. Yeah. That people were like,
Yeah.
I mean, not like crazy, huge, life-changing things.
Avatar?
Yeah, nothing like that. This is like smaller potatoes. And it was you for sure. And then, just being in the Netflix family and,
Yeah.
hoping to do specials, and
Yeah.
it just felt like a good marriage
Yeah.
of
That was a very cool. That's been such a rewarding aspect of it, because as comedy people, to be in the ultimate comedy space has been so great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And here we both are 3 hours with Netflix later.
Yeah.
It's, worked out well for us, and I think for them too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been a great relationship back
Yeah.
and forth. Are you worried at all that if we were to get an intern that it might derail all of it?
Bring us down the
Yeah,
whole show.
like
That's a lot of power.
Yeah. I guess we'd probably have, well, I don't think we interviewed the interns before. That was all on you,
Yeah.
right? I don't think.
We should do a trial run. We'll bring them on for one advice session, then you guys give a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Right.
Okay. We can do that.
I have to say, I enjoy doing this podcast with wine a lot more.
It is nice.
It is nice. Just a nice.
It's a nice little afternoon delight,
It's weird that,
but not in the
it's-
way that song's about. Afternoon delight.
Yeah, it just feels like we designed this whole set to kind of cultivate a space where you would
Yeah.
enjoy wine and food.
There's all these drinks and robots over here.
Yeah, and then we don't really drink here enough.
Yeah. Well, you're welcome.
Thank
Glad
you.
I could bring this out in you.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Yeah.
What else, kid, before we go? Anything else we need to work on or figure out?
No,
or-
I feel good about everything.
Yeah,
I'm not going to drink anymore. This is my one afternoon delight.
yeah. Gotta go.
Thank you for the pastries. Those were delightful. There's still plenty for you guys, even though you didn't eat a whoopie pie.
Yeah, sorry, we ate all of that.
No, I'm happy about our show, and our friendship has evolved so much over the 6 years. Don't you think?
Yes, I consider you a dear friend.
Same. And
And get ready, because when I start having problems in my life,
please come to me.
there's going to be a payback.
I will be there for you.
I enjoy helping you.
I know you were a good friend to me during this troubled time.
Yeah. And
You were as they say, bridge over troubled water.
Oh, thank you. And just to go on record, anything that you say about Joe when we text privately
You're not gonna
stays
tell him?
private.
Good. I will say Joe is, we give him a lot of crap on the radio, but he is a delightful human.
Well, this is
Good heart.
he's the greatest, but this is why you need an intern, because you need someone to shit on.
You got it. And he needs a break.
Yeah, and Joe, you've been shouldering it for a long time.
Yeah.
In the clear, I could have brought that chair to the beach and
Yeah.
you wouldn't have said anything.
That's right.
But the irony
you need
is that,
character.
But the irony is we love Joe so much.
Too much.
Well,
Yeah. We do. Stop it.
no, it's true.
He's a amazing human, and we don't tell him that enough.
Oh, you guys are very nice. But now I really want to get an intern because you brought up a good point.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off. We need another foil.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah,
They're kind of like a mess, like a fuck up.
right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be an intern. It could be a war with another radio show. We can start a fight with other podcasts or comedians.
Yeah.
That I would like to do, like start trouble with somebody.
Oh, okay.
Go after one of the big guys.
I don't need that in my life.
You wouldn't back me up?
I mean, if I had to, but I really don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
Can we have no beef in the rest of this year?
Yeah. All right. I hear you.
You know what I mean?
I hear you.
I've had enough drama.
Yeah.
Let's keep it
It's
for
drama free.
drama free.
We had Fortune Day the other day on the radio show where we kind of relaunched your year.
Yeah.
And it did kind of feel like that. I feel
Yeah.
like we can head in that way. And
We're
that
off to-
is better news about your mom, by the way. I really had no idea that.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 is 4. I mean, if it's
Yeah.
a different 2, it's still not a 4.
Yeah.
So that's pretty hopeful.
It's hopeful. It's so hard to say. Like all these doctors were very doom and gloom
Yeah.
about it, and then one doctor had a more positive
Yeah.
perspective. So we'll see.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. We love Ginger. And we love you. And thanks for doing this. It was nice to have you.
Thanks for having
to
me.
come over. I know we talk a lot, but it's amazing, like, when you talk about how, like, what else are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
We just spent a whole hour of stuff I didn't really know.
We found out new things.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right. We'll do it again.
All right.
Safe travels.
Thanks, bud.
We got it, kids.